Hey, my name is Lizzie Smiley, and I absolutely love helping people connect with their calling and all the tools they need to kick roadblocks and excuses right out the door so they can cultivate the life they dream about. If you want to launch, grow, pivot, or scale your Etsy shop, or you've always wanted to develop the mindset and skills to run your own business, then I'm your girl. I've had that entrepreneurial spirit going strong since my very first lemonade stand, and now I'm a work-at-home mama with multiple online companies and a full-time Etsy shop, all while being present with my kids for the everyday chaos and most important milestones. On this podcast, we'll talk about all things business, mindset, Etsy, creativity, dazzling our customers, and so much more. There's plenty of room at this table for you, so scooch on in and let's go. I'm holding nothing back. Welcome to How to Sell Your Stuff on Etsy. I'm so glad you're here. Hey y'all, here we are! Literally already thrust into 2022. And are we ready for it or what? It's so time for a new year and hopefully a whole new season. Am I right? I don't know about you guys, but for the most part, I sense a lot of hope in people's hearts. I'm feeling a lot of hope in my heart, and it really does feel like it must be the beginning of better days on the horizon. So how are you? How was your holiday season? Gosh, this time of year, it's so conflicting, isn't it? Lots of people really hurting during the holidays. Breaks my heart into a million pieces, like especially this year. Lots of tears, like so many loved ones missed that should have been sitting by us. And I was hearing a lot about just people feeling lonely, lots of reflection. I do think that's a good thing coming out of it. We are reflecting more. We're making some better choices, I think, as we go forward. And then, all of that kind of heavier stuff is often like, too drowned out by the sounds of cheer and family and celebration. And don't get me wrong, I think that's wonderful. Our family is very cheerful and we've been extremely fortunate, but I just want you to know that I hold space for you, whichever camp you're in. If you're celebrating, I celebrate with you. There's so much to be thankful for and look forward to. And if you are grieving, if you're lonely, if you're afraid, I see you. It's really hard. You're not alone. It is okay to feel all the feelings. They are real and they are valid. And this is making me think of one of my friends. She lost both of her parents to COVID or in the past 3 months, both of them. It was gut wrenching, and I'm weeping with her. It was a very hard holiday season. I can't think of her without, kind of getting choked up. Um, and meanwhile, wow, I didn't know this was gonna be so emo, you guys. Meanwhile, another friend is celebrating the utter miracle of her 3-year-old son who had deadly cancer in his bladder, and it literally vanished from his body. Like, he had no treatment yet. It was over the course of like 2 to 3 weeks of insanity, and that cancer vanished. The doctors declared it a literal miracle. And then this was all followed up by the birth of a miracle baby. They were so excited to have. I mean, can you imagine being pregnant and having one of your little children have cancer? I can't even fathom. And I'm just elated and overwhelmed with joy and grateful with her. It's two total extremes. And just like I can go from a huge smile on my face, excited, to like unexpectedly crying in front of you a minute ago, there's genuine space for both. So my family, we personally had a quiet and lovely holiday. We kept it simple as we always do, and it was so, so special. I have a close-knit family. So it's my parents and my sister, and then they have adopted my husband as their own since his parents passed away many years ago. And we love to spend holiday time together. And then also with a few favorite relatives. And I won't say their names because I want to value their privacy, but we have a few that come hang out with us, and we're just extremely grateful. And so after Christmas this year, my hubs and we did some serious goal setting and planning for the year. And then we took a quick jaunt to the Texas coast in our RV. If you watch the podcast on YouTube on video, I always record actually in the RV because inside there are unexpected noises and dogs and my husband walking through. So I come hang out in the RV in the driveway. And so he just built me a nice reclaimed wood backdrop. But we took a quick jaunt to the Texas coast because, please note, it was freaking 80 degrees here in Texas for Christmas. You can see that today it is not. I'm in a warm sweater and I'm loving it because my Chicago roots like the cold. But over Christmas, it was like, if you can't beat them, join them. So we went to the beach and it was good. So let's go 2022, right? We're ready for you. And for this week, I did a bunch of research on the trends that we can expect to see on Etsy this coming year. As always, the reports that Etsy puts out each December, they're by far the most helpful. And so I have linked them in the show notes for you. But we're going to go over a bunch of what they said that I extrapolated out, today that I thought was relevant because let's be honest, reading them can be a dry business. If you don't like numbers, just listen to me. And I'm still going to give you some, but you may not want to weed through all that. But truly, if you love numbers and percentages and research and you want to know all the goods, you should check out those reports I've linked for yourself. You will geek out. You will love it. But first of all, I want to spend some time talking about some more general trends that are on the horizon for the marketplace overall in 2022, because there will certainly be spillover and it was going to help us frame the bigger picture for what we might see just overall in our world. And I think it's going to affect your Etsy shop. So the first one, which fascinates me and confuses me and inspires me, and I have so many questions. Number one is cryptocurrency will become much more mainstream this year. It is expected that more and more people will begin to participate in the crypto economy. NFTs especially will become more mainstream. And experts are saying that we can even expect to start seeing retailers take cryptocurrency as a form of payment, like as a mainstream part of buying and selling. I think that's going to be super interesting. Just to see, like, especially what Etsy does with this, right? For one, I think I'm looking into how to sell NFTs on Etsy in the future. I think that could be a really cool avenue to go. And so if this is all super foreign to you, please don't worry about it. It's actually still pretty foreign to me. My husband is more well-versed. Don't feel bad. There's a wealth of information in both written and video format out there for you. You can begin studying it if it is of interest. So I'm going to link a Forbes article in the show notes for you to read if you just want like a simple introduction to cryptocurrency. And then from there, the world is your oyster. There is a huge rabbit hole of information if you want to start studying it. But I do think we all need to have just a baseline of information because this is going more mainstream. Number two, shopping live. Okay, so shoppers, I don't know why. Maybe this surprises me because I am an introvert and this kind of thing would never appeal to me personally. I know that seems strange, right? I'm an outgoing introvert, which means I can make friends with the brick wall. I can make friends with anyone. I'm not intimidated. I just prefer to be alone and I recharge on my own. But I don't like crowds. I'm not more drawn toward the social than towards the personal. So but shoppers are loving the experience of shopping live. This blows my mind. So they like shopping in the stream by participating on like Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok live where they can buy products real time, like in the feed with other shoppers. And so I guess I can see it like creates a bit of excitement, maybe some dopamine. I don't know. To be in like a friendly competition with others trying to buy stuff they love, like from people they love to support. So for you, consider running a live for your Etsy products. This was a particularly effective tool that my podcast guest, Julia, used to sell her handmade ornaments in November and December. So she was a brand new shop and she ran a Facebook Live from her Facebook page and she invited her friends and followers ahead of time, told them, she was going to have the live, and she literally sold 10 products in the first 15 minutes. People love to participate in these, y'all. So if you want to learn more about Julia's business, she came onto the podcast for episode 15 to have a live coaching session with me so y'all could hear what it's like to work with me one-on-one, because I do personal one-on-one coaching like via Zoom. And so, I wanted to show you guys what it looks like so you can ask your questions, have me review your shop, make suggestions, like really help you up game. And so it was an awesome episode and Julia has done such a great job growing her shop. So check out her episode 15. So many good strategies were dropped in that one. I loved it. So going live, that's a big one. Shoppers love shopping live. Blows my mind, but All my extroverts said, woohoo. Yeah. Number 3. Okay. So as someone who used to sell reclaimed wood signs, it was like our first product. Number 3 is conscious consumerism and sustainability. So, as shoppers become more informed about how products are made, who made them, what they were sourced from, and then what the supply chain involves, a whole new and very robust and growing market has formed. This started years ago, but we're really seeing it catch steam now. In 2022, we will see continued support for businesses, first of all, run by ethnically diverse entrepreneurs, and for companies finding ways to be more labor and environmentally friendly. I love it. I am the girl who buys the free trade coffee. So we are caring more as a community about the environmental impact of our purchases and are more prepared than ever to pay a premium to support businesses who care as much as we do. I think it's a good move. So there are also, we're going to get a little more nuanced here. There are 3 linked sub trends here that are going to influence conscious consumerism and sustainability. So stick with me. These are interesting. Number 1 is this subtrend of finpowerment, which is like fin, like short for financial powerment, empowerment. It took me a minute. I'm like, Finn, where's the fish? I don't get it. Finpowerment, which is where people are becoming more passionate about money management and investing. And it's like, how our workforce is taking on a whole new form with people leaving traditional jobs, looking for new paths, that whole introspection thing we're going through. Well, it is also affecting people's cash flow, and so they are looking to be more cautious. So, finpowerment is affecting the conscious consumerism and sustainability. Also, this is really cool. The second sub trend is the influence of lagom, and that is a Swedish philosophy that emphasizes the concept. It goes like this: not too much, not too little, and that's really affecting our economy and our culture now. I think that's kind of cool. We don't want to go way too overboard with all the stuff, but we don't need to be complete and total minimalists either. Not too much, not too little. And then number 3, the sub trend of the buy nothing movement, which I had not heard of until I started doing this research. It evolved from supply chain issues, but it has become a powerful effort to upcycle, trade items, share what's on hand in our homes with the community around us. It's apparently there are a bunch of Facebook groups where they are just like bartering and trading and giving each other what they need rather than throwing it away in a dumpster, or rather than going and buying something new. It's just this beautiful, that's the way it should be, right? Where we choose to give out of our plenty. I really believe in that. Like, there's I know I've been a little more transparent about my faith lately. There's a scripture that says God loves a cheerful giver. Well, so does the universe. We all love someone who wants to give, right? So I think this is beautiful, the buy nothing movement. What you're going to see as a result of these mini trends is that shoppers on Etsy are actually all over the marketplace, not just Etsy, they're trending towards more meaningful purchases. They'll upcycle or choose more sustainable items when they can, and then generally make more thoughtful buying decisions. They're looking for that just right item. I think it's cool. I think it's a good one. Number 4, self-care as a necessity as opposed to a treat. After the stress and mental health strain of the past 2 years, the emphasis on self-care has made a notable shift. I think it's a good one. It started as an urge for busy women, especially, to make sure they were treating themselves and paying attention to their needs in the midst of taking care of all the other people and tasks in their lives. But now, after all of the stress and tension and fear and all upheaval, the message is more urgent. It's this self-care is critical for your survival. It's more of a battle cry now than a spa urge. It's good. So we'll see this affecting the marketplace at an even greater rate in pampering products, body care, skin care, candles, things that can help people relax. And we'll also see more CBD products. We'll see lots of wellness products, the yoga mats, and other items that will help facilitate a balanced approach to self-care. So no big surprise on that one, but important to note the shift in mentality that this is more urgent. This isn't a luxury anymore. It's a necessity. Number 5, home space refreshes. They're going to continue. So as a perfect segue from self-care, we're going to continue to see the trend of home improvement driving a ton of consumer purchases. In fact, one of the newer trends within the home space is the development of escape rooms. And no, I don't mean where people are setting up their own murder mysteries in their homes, although I'll bet that idea would sell to some. They're creating super peaceful spaces in their home where they can go to escape from the world and just enjoy some quiet time and rejuvenation. So maybe that will inspire some ideas. There will be great opportunity in providing meaningful pieces to create special spaces. I personally saw such a boom for our handmade wood signs in 2020. As people were kind of, locking down into quarantine, and they were looking for inspiring messages for their spaces. And that trend cooled off a bit in 2021. With like phrases on signs, but the home decor space in general continues to be a great place to be. And we will talk about some specifics for Etsy on that a little more later. Number 6, pets. So this is such a cool industry. So many people became pet owners in 2020 and 2021, and now they are looking for ways to enhance their pets' lives and experiences. Like, I just love it. That's like just a first world blessing right there. A big trend for this is actually, this is so good, animal first architecture, where people are making special modifications to their homes specifically for their pets. I'm a pet lover, y'all. I have cats and dogs. I just love this. But get this, I can't help but laugh. The search term luxury dog room is currently up more than 115% on Pinterest. In lots of different and creative ways, you can expect pet supplies to dominate in the marketplace this year. Number 7 is color and joy as a trend. We're going to see lots of color in 2022. People are gravitating towards bright, bold colors for their home, their clothes, and more. My guess is that will hit makeup and all the rest. And there's a new fashion trend on the rise. It's called dopamine dressing. Like, who came up with that? That's brilliant. And this is where super vibrant outfits that can't help but make you smile are being shopped and searched more and more. So keep that in mind. Sad for me, the neutrals, earthy tones, the more natural materials, they may be taking a bit of a backseat to bold and bright statement pieces this year. But you know what? We all need to smile more. So maybe it's not so bad, even though I love my neutrals. Look, as I literally wear an oatmeal colored sweater. This podcast is brought to you by Canva.com. Canva is a web-based tool that I have used for many years to create social media graphics, edit my Etsy product photos, create special flyers and invitations, like all things photo editing. I personally think they have such an easy and intuitive web-based platform, and it has all the features that I need to create beautiful listing pictures and graphics for my business. They also have an app, so I can take my work with me on the go when I'm sitting in the school pickup line or waiting for an appointment to start. I highly recommend Canva to the Etsy seller who isn't necessarily a graphic design expert, but wants their images to look their best, because Canva's tools will make your work so much easier and faster. They have an amazing free trial and then a very affordable paid membership that unlocks a ton more features, from gorgeous fonts to seriously high quality graphics, stickers, and templates. The best part is you can save drafts and final projects right there on the site for easy future editing and access. I personally have the Canva Pro plan, and I think it's super practical and a great value. You can grab my link down in the show notes. Check it out. I think you'll love it as much as I do. So with that, let's dive in. Let's take a closer look at specifically what will be trending on Etsy as like a handmade and vintage marketplace. Just to give us a little bit of context, in 2021, trends were largely influenced by nature. I don't think that one per se is going away. There was an emphasis on creating more connection, more meaning. We saw a return to hosting others in hospitality. So many people remodeled or refreshed their homes and were searching for personalized touches. Also, the phrases personalized gift, wall decor, and gift were the top searched terms on Etsy in 2021, followed by Mother's Day gift and Father's Day gift. Helpful to know where we're coming from. Some of those will continue on, no doubt. So I want to begin this next segment with an excerpt from Etsy's blog post called Marketplace Insights, Early 2022 Trends. I almost said 2021. Early 2022 Trends. And this is, of course, it's one of the ones that's linked. It reads, After another unusual year, shoppers want to start 2022 right and with intention, be it via an organizing task, starting a new hobby, or paying more attention to self care. Many people are looking to establish new routines based on shifting priorities, and they're seeking the items that bring them calm, purpose, and delight. When we asked Etsy trend expert Dana Isom Johnson to describe her prediction for the new year, she said, 2022 will be about finding balance in all aspects of our lives, pointing to the Swedish philosophy of lagom, which loosely translates to not too much, not too little. Shoppers are expected to strive for something in that sweet spot, something just right, Dana says, from how we spend our time to the purchases we make. Help shoppers out with well-crafted or carefully curated items that make meaningful gifts or provide a reason to pause. With a personalized planner, aromatic candle, nostalgic 90s style, or soothing home decor, for example, many shoppers are thinking about updating their basics and necessities, being more thoughtful about their purchases, and renewing a sense of optimism in their everyday lives. So I am sorry, but there was just no better way to summarize that. It was so, so good and insightful. And I know many of you may not want to go actually read. So I wanted you to hear that from their own words before they went into literally the most massive list of, numbers and percentages you've ever seen. Not really, but it was pretty long. So with that being said, let's dive into the major trends we can expect to see on Etsy this year. And once again, I have the sources for these linked in the show notes today in case you love the details and want to dig in more. Number one, and I should add this is not just specific to Etsy, but emerald green has been declared the color of the year. So searches for emerald green items, that phrase, are up 64%, and emerald green decor is up 60% already. So we are also seeing pastels trend, and it's not even Easter. Etsy has seen, this is crazy. Etsy has seen searches for pastel room decor go up a whopping 2,627%. So keep that in mind. No matter what your products are, pastels are going nuts. Emerald green is the color of the year. If you can incorporate those, you should. Number two, home and living, which we already knew, with an emphasis on statement lighting. This is a really good one to pay attention to if you are trying to decide what to sell in your Etsy shop. So we talked about home decor a bit before, but one of the biggest trends in home decor on Etsy this year is already proving to be light fixtures that represent our personal style. And so Etsy has seen a 344% increase in searches for 70s lighting, a 27% increase in searches for sculptural or decorative lighting, a 25% increase in searches for vintage lighting, and a 22% increase in searches for colorful lighting. And you know what's so interesting, as someone who, like, I've made a full-time income selling wood signs on Etsy for the past 6 years, we actually started seeing a major trend shift to neon signs in like the past 18 months. So it's all making more sense to me now, seeing this lighting trend. I think we're getting away from the basic lamps. We're wanting some more creative lighting. Number three on Etsy, weddings. Always a huge niche on Etsy. It does well every year. And the key this year is going to be colorful celebrations. So we talked earlier in the general trends segment about how 2022 will be a year of joy and vibrant colors are taking stage in lots of different forms. So we're going to see this influence in the wedding niche in a major way. Etsy has already seen a 223% increase in searches for colorful wedding items, the phrase. So I would definitely suggest you jump on that bandwagon if you're in the wedding industry, at least as an option. If your whole thing is neutral, you're still going to have your people, but if you can add some color, that's the trend. Number four, for style, it is a punk rock revival. Man, cue more 90s throwbacks. I've already lived through this once. We are seeing millennials and Gen Zers put their own spin on the pop punk movement, which is fueled by self-expression and autonomy. So yeah, that sounds about right. Get this. I can't get over this. Etsy has seen searches for spiked collars go up 800 to 79%. Like, just stop it, okay? I'm reliving junior high over here, and I'm feeling a little triggered. I can't believe spiked collars are back, guys. Then we see the term vintage plaid items. That's up 48% in searches. Fishnet items are up 37%. Studded belts are up 34%. Velvet chokers is up 365% in searches. And silver jewelry is making a comeback. It's up 14%. Maybe that means I can keep my rings. So if you are in fashion or vintage, this should definitely influence your products this year if you want to ride the trend. Number 5, kids. We're going to be seeing dragons and mythological creatures. They are taking the forefront this year. So one theory for this, other than the fact that it's dreamy and different and make-believe is fun, is that these types of items can be very gender neutral, and our culture is really into having that option. Not my daughter. She didn't get the memo. Please give her 17,000 princess dresses. But people are loving gender neutral. And take a note from that. If you sell anything for kids and you want to participate in the trend, everything from nurseries, toys, clothes, think gender neutral, at least as an option that you offer. And you will see more sales that way. Etsy has seen an increase in searches for fairy items by 51%. Mythological creature or beast items increased 39%. And dragon toys increased 22%. Number 6, organizational tools. Thanks to the home edit. This is definitely a trend at the beginning of each new year, of course. As people set goals to declutter their homes or get more organized or go more minimalist. But we've seen this trend stay strong and even grow throughout the year since the beloved Instagram brand turned Netflix sensation, the home edit, captivated our hearts and pantries. I could not get enough of it. Actually, I am not a very organized person. I wish I were more, which is probably why I like watching it. But it was just very soothing. They're a really cute Instagram profile to follow, and the show on Netflix was fun to watch if you haven't seen it yet. All about organization, and it will really inspire you. So, Etsy has seen searches for storage organization increase by 993% year over year, meaning this time right now this year versus right now last year. So this trend is still hot for the taking. I'm a little bit surprised because I was watching Home Edit summer of 2020 on Netflix. So we're seeing it take the world by more storm. Number 7, art supplies and tools. There are so many opportunities here as folks in the colder climes are tucking away for the winter with their favorite crafts, and parents are searching for creative ways to entertain their kids away from the dazzling screens. Yes, party of one right here. Please give me more creative ways to entertain my daughter away from the screen. As many of you have probably seen on TikTok, the art of tufting textiles has taken center stage as a trending craft. Also, Etsy has seen the phrase cardigan knitting pattern increase 96%. The fiber arts are very alive and well. As a knitter and crocheter myself, I can attest to the fact that we crafters love to find creative and unusual and super high quality finds on Etsy to keep our hands busy. And we do not discriminate by season. Those of us who are true fiber arts people. There are, honestly, if you go look at the list, there are bunches more suggestions for the art supplies and tools category. So if this is your jam, I encourage you to review Etsy's publication, at least in this one area. So they'll go more specific for you. And finally, number 8 is paper and party supplies. There are bunches of subtopics here also. Again, another one to maybe take a look at the actual section on their publication. Some things to consider are, of course, our mythological creatures, especially dragons, as we discussed earlier. So great for party supplies. The organization trend will pop in here too, as people shop for journals, planners, and calendars to keep their busy lives in order. Anything you can create to help people simplify, organize, those would be great places to focus. Occasion gifting and greeting cards. People love to shop on Etsy for something custom and or specific to an event. So they come to Etsy instead of Hallmark because they know they're going to get something extra special and maybe more personalized for their loved one. Men in particular search for birthday cards on Etsy. And I liked this. There has been a 21,166 year over year increase in searches for teacher greeting card. Wow, that's a huge jump. In this space, we are seeing retro and vintage influences, of course, so keep that in mind. And geometric patterns are continuing this year. Checkers are a big one. Only think pastel. And finally, tropical prints are beloved right now, especially with their nod to emerald green. So there you have it. That's the list. Are you okay? Was it too much data? I tried to boil it down. For those of us who are not obsessed with numbers, there's actually so much more, you guys. I just didn't want to drone on for an hour. So I pulled out the most notable trends for you here. Feel free to study on. It's a really exciting time, and I think there are mountains of possibilities for you. So whether you want to start your first Etsy shop, grow the one you've got, or pivot to something new, pay attention to the trends if you really want to grow. And definitely if you want to make more of a full-time income on Etsy. I'm cheering for you. Visit my site, howtosellyourstuff.com, for free resources and lots of help as you build your own Etsy side hustle or empire. I am totally here to help. Happy New Year, my loves. I cannot wait to see what this fresh new year holds for you. I'll see you next time. And that's a wrap on this episode of How to Sell Your Stuff on Etsy. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you're looking for more resources, head on over to howtosellyourstuff.com, where you'll find podcast show notes, all the links from today's episode, the blog, courses, coaching, and more. If this episode was helpful to you, awesome. The greatest compliment I can receive from you is a rate, review, and subscribe on this podcast. Not only will it allow us to connect again on a future episode, it lets me know I'm providing you with value and helps other people find this content more easily. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your support. Have a great day and see you next time.